have attempted this world record before. I did sit on a bicycle for 24 hours and cycle, but I didn't reach the distance that Guinness set. I've just cycled 6 hours on a bicycle, static bicycle. So all I was doing was staring at a wall. And all that's facing me is knowing that I'm going to have to increase the hours every single week. In 5 months' time, I'm attempting to cover the furthest distance on a static bicycle in 24 hours. Guinness, the world record officiators, have said to me that I need to cover, 480 miles? That's 20 miles an hour for 24 hours if I want that world record. So that's what I'm training for. And a question I ask myself a lot, as well as other people asking me, is why? Why on earth am I doing this? And most days I do question my sanity because it's not fun. It isn't enjoyable sitting in a cramped room. This is also our spare room / office, cycling, staring at a brick wall. But I'm doing it for something bigger. I'm doing it for myself. And I wanted to talk about goal setting, that magic word that we see floating around. And it's a super boring topic. There's thousands of books out there. There's hundreds of courses. And to me, they're all missing the point. There is very few people who know how to effectively set a goal and achieve it. And I just wanted to touch on it now. And the reason I do this straight after riding a bicycle is because this is when I get my inspiration. Sitting on that bike, spinning my legs, my monkey brain, the brain inside my head with all that logic and chitter chatter, turns off. And what I'm left with is those moments of inspiration, those times when you felt, drawn to something bigger than ourselves, some magic almost. And so this is why I'm trying to capture myself speaking off a bike, because I'm not here for logic. I'm here just to talk, freestyle, but that's where the magic is. And, goal setting to me is hugely powerful, but somehow us humans have turned it into this dry, tedious ABC process that we have formed into tick lists. And it's the furthest from that in the whole wide world. For me, goal setting is about giving ourselves permission to be greater than our current selves. It's about allowing us to dream bigger, create something that has never potentially been created before, and to dream that anything is possible. For me, goal setting is the most spiritual thing we could ever do because it's actually transformative. The example of me doing this 24-hour world record on a bike is I will never be the same again after having completed that. I have to step up beyond what I currently know. I have to step into my unknown zones and so far out of my comfort zone to make it happen. Any limiting beliefs I have around time management, about human performance, about mental resilience is being blown apart. And, I am left pretty much raw and open and a complete blank canvas to design again. And this is why I love the pure essence of goal setting, not that to-do list and tick list of how are you going to accomplish it in 5 steps malarkey. But it's about tapping into our, spirituality of ourselves. It's tapping into something bigger than ourselves. And why I'm doing this 24-hour world record is 2-pronged. And one is for myself. I want to remove the glass ceiling off my potential. I have attempted this world record before. I did sit on a bicycle for 24 hours and cycle, but I didn't reach the distance that Guinness set. I covered 290 miles. And Guinness has announced that I need to cover 480 miles. So you can do the math. That's nearly, 190 miles more than what I currently did that I need to do again in just 24 hours. So I'm challenging myself, removing the glass ceiling of what my potential is, both physically and mentally and emotionally, to put myself through that for the training to almost double what I've already achieved in 24 hours. And it's also to open up the conversation of where else are we sort of capping our potential. So I'm a huge advocate. My entire business is based around helping people elevate themselves, elevate their business, elevate their current situation, elevate their emotional well-being. So it's about me being that pioneer. In goal setting, or come back to that topic, a lot of us think that we need external permission, that we need something out there to do it. Like, I need a new bike, or I need support, or I need money, or I need more time. There's always something outside of us that we're waiting to be given as a gift, and then we can start doing what we want. But the true path of achieving what we want is to commit to it regardless if we have anything in place. Once I announced I was doing this world record, and I did it quite publicly, I did it in my Strong Summit a few months ago, and I said to over 3,000 people live, this is what I'm going to be doing. I don't know how, but this is what lights me up inside. It scares the hell out of me, but it also lights me up. Once I announced it publicly, that's when people started to approach me, offering me this beautiful track bike, offering me support, offering me guidance. But I needed to publicly declare it first, without expectation of receiving anything back. That, as I keep referring to, is the pure essence of goal setting. It's when we ignite our passion, people are attracted to the passion rather than what we're preaching and what we're going to be doing and the how-to manipulation of, how are we going to train? How are we going to cycle this far? What are we going to eat? All of those details are important, but they're pretty bland and they're not going to attract our tribe. And another reason why I'm doing this world record is as a springboard for my ultimate or limitless challenge, which is in 2022, which I won't talk about now because, it's a biggie, is to also open up the conversation of we can only do usually when what we see in others. So if we look for role models, we were looking for role models that resonate with us. So they either look like us, they sound like us, or there is some type of synergy where we can see a part of us in them. At the moment in the world of sport, and also in that top 1% of business leaders, like of the ultimate CEOs, etc., there is a missing in diversity. If you look at endurance cycling, let's just take that. So I'm doing the Race Across America in June 2022. That's a 3,000-mile ride coast to coast of America. 18% of those finishers, be them solo cyclists or groups, are female. And so that means that there's 72% are men. The vast majority of both male and females are white. Is it no surprise then that we have less cyclists that are female and representative of a different background? Because they don't see themselves in the cyclists that are currently doing it. I really want to, with this world record on the 24 hours on a static bicycle, demonstrate that women, I'm a white woman, but start being a role model for more white women to say, yes, you can too. There is a man equivalent of this world record that exists. Why not a woman? Why has no woman ever attempted this? I don't want the record, but I want to see more women striving. And if that means me stepping up out of my comfort zone, putting in a few painful hours on the bike every single day to demonstrate to other women that they too can dream big in their professions, in their passions and strive, that they too could be the pioneer to remove that glass ceiling and create an equal playing field. It doesn't mean that men are equal to women or women are equal to men, because we have our distinct differences. But it means we have the right to choose. That is what I want for equality. I want to see every being having the right to choose their path, rather than thinking that certain paths are closed to them because of the colour of their skin or their gender or their sexual preferences. So this is partly also why I'm doing my world record, to say that we can do what we want. We can be our own role models. We need more diverse role models too, to step up and go, You can. Just because 78% or 72% of men are finishers on a certain ride of men doesn't mean that women can't do it. It just means that not enough women think they can. So for me, goal setting isn't a dry tick list ABC process. If you want that, I'm happy to share it. But as I said, there's thousands of books covering very similar processes. There's the Pareto principle, Pomodoro effect, Parkinson law. Like, there's laws and procedures out there that exist. I want to tap into the reason behind we even start dreaming, that we can unlock our potential, that we can change the world too. So for me, this goal setting is a way of demonstrating to myself my human capacity. An interesting point, I see a spiritual guide every single month. He helps me keep my spiritual self just as elevated as my physical and mental and emotional side as well. Because I have a cycle coach, but I also have that spiritual guide to make sure that I'm not pulling myself and disconnecting from myself. And a few days ago, he just read into me and found out my potential. I'm running at 15% capacity, 1.5 in some areas of my life. That's about audience, just to let you know, in case you're curious. So if we are running at such low capacity, because we all know, let's just take a moment. Think about your life now. What are you 100% giving it all in every single area of your life? Are you 100% committed to your partner? You are proactively demonstrating affection, sympathy, love, support, compassion, whatever values you hold for relationships. Are you displaying them every single day at your 100%? What about work? Are you turning up every single day, giving yourself focus, commitment, service? What values you hold 100% every single day at work? What about your health? Are you focused on giving yourself space, balance, equality, compassion as well, and love? Are you doing this 100% every single day too? Because I know I'm not. It doesn't matter how big that 100% is. So some days my 100% is enormous and I have so much to give. Other days it's really small. I'm having a bad day or I need to sort of regroup, but I'm still giving my 100%, albeit it's a lot smaller. By focusing on these bigger goals, like setting the challenges that we truly want, those goals setting, creating a business that can eradicate poverty. Imagine declaring that, the people that would be attracted to your message. Imagine the steps you would take to creating that. It would be a lot different than saying, I hope I can give charity 10% to my charity every month. The energy around those two goals is different. So that's why, and I appreciate this has gone on a massive rampage actually, which I very rarely do on TV, on YouTube, and also on podcasts. But that's why I'm so passionate about goal setting. Set something that scares the hell out of you. Set it big. Because the bigger we strive, the more we can cope and the more capacity that we'll actually create that void and fill it with things that will create it. I am hugely surprised by the traction, the flow. I'm in the zone, if you want, because these two goals are massive. Because I want to create equality in sport. Because I also want to remove the glass ceiling off human potential. I'm now having conversations I would never have had if I'd set an average goal. And yes, it does involve daily work to support that goal. But please, if you take anything from this conversation with me, do something that stings to your heart. Set it high, set it big, and make sure that we empower or impassion ourselves with the reasons why we're doing this, the bigger picture, and let the hows sort them out themselves. They are important, but that won't excite you. How we do certain tasks are pretty average and mundane. It's why we do it that's so exciting. So that's me. It's Kate on a bike. I definitely need a shower. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. I release this on YouTube as well as a podcast. Your support really helps me. It may not seem like much, just giving me a little 5-star or a thumb up or a tick or even a comment. But that allows me to know that you listened, that I've impacted and added value. And if you don't agree, I want to know your opinion too. There is never one right way to do things. So please remember, let me know what you think. Let me know what actions you're doing. Put in the comments below as well your thoughts around goal setting. And I look forward to speaking to you next week. And as always, until then, keep in positive action.